seems to have done it. This is a message for my team. This is my Log 1 update. 2 months have passed since I've hidden myself from the Unknown Order. I only now have scrapped together this archaic recording device that still can't even seem to produce a simple 144 progressive scan. I'm giving you an update on my life in this cubed world. Materials that can defy gravity. Creatures, land and sky appearing from nothing. And portals to the underworld? The physics from this world shouldn't even be plausible. Although I do have the recording device I'm using now, it isn't advanced enough to send back the proper transmissions required. I've learned a fair amount from this world, like how to create a sustainable iron farm. Or plantation. I'm still debating if it's considered murder, since it requires living machinery called golems, made by these semi-intelligent humans. I've noticed that these golems are summoned once there are 3 or more of these humans experiencing fear. But even with all of the creatures this world has, the undead seem to be the only of them that frightens them. I spent a couple days figuring out how these humans reproduce. Though it doesn't take much, it still confuses me. After some time, I managed to construct housing that I will use to breed these humans.
How about both of you just get started? Those fine.
Log date 05/03/23. Hours passed and I finally have enough villagers, I guess I'll call them, to begin work on the farms. Maybe I'll be able to make these farms run at least moderate efficiency? I have completed the first platform and cage to hold these villagers. A bit inhumane, but they're helping me further my scientific study of this world. Around 40 minutes have passed, nearing the end of 2 of this planet's days, and I have fully constructed my first iron farm. The golems seem to appear every 30-ish seconds, which is around 48 minutes real time. Log date 05/04/23. Upon completion of the first iron farm, I worked out the distance needed to run more farms. I need to separate the farms by 30 blocks, or roughly 96 feet. After about 3 days or 60 minutes real time, I've constructed 3 more farms, and for now, the rate at which the golem spawn seems to suffice. Realizing that this world's resources are plentiful, I've decided that I will spend 100 days in this world's time collecting materials in its surprisingly stable cave system. I first began the mining process by collecting surface-level stone, granite, diorite, and andesite. I also stumbled upon a couple amethyst geodes and somewhat well-structured yet run-down mine shafts. I've also begun to work on carving a tunnel to one day soon build my lab. Here's a few findings from the first 25 days.
Hi, I would very much like it if you never set foot here again. I'm not. You are the strongest ones. You must go first.
I discovered these strange boxes that seem to summon a single variant of the creatures that appear in this world. I'm curious as to how many of these boxes exist, and if there's any limit to the amount of creatures that can be summoned. Log date 05/05/23. It's been about 16.5 hours real time, or 50 days in this world. I begin to feel quite a few negative effects being down in the cave. Restlessness and fatigue begin to set in, while nausea and slight paranoia persist as these caves begin to show signs of once being alive, with all of these eerie noises. Night has set and I made my way back to the house that I constructed back when the Unknown Order was still able to track my location. I am very tired at this point and have decided to rest before going into the deeper caves. I awoke feeling energized and motivated, so much so that I didn't hesitate to head straight back into the caves. Reaching the deeper caves, I've discovered deep slate and the cobbled variant. I prefer the cobbled. Realizing that I only had 50 days left to collect resources, I've decided to spend 10 days collecting deep slate, then the other 15 collecting the cobbled variant. Then the final 25 days would be spent collecting this world's gems and metals. A couple days into mining and I've discovered this dark blue starry substance called skulk that has a spongy dirt-like texture. Though visually pleasing from a distance, I find the dirt to be repulsive in sound when dug or walked upon. Following the skulk terrain, I had an unpleasant run-in with these shrieking alarms that shout whenever this tendril sensor hears any kind of noise. As the shrieking ceases, the ground seems to shake as if something is burrowed underground. I'm not sure I want to find out what that would be. Log date 05/06/23. I ran some tests on the skulk dirt and other skulk variants. I found that a gardening hoe seems to destroy the skulk, giving me knowledge of, I believe, magic? I continued collecting deep slate for a good few days, finding a multitude of diamond clusters, a couple more amethyst geodes, and a place for these slimy creatures to appear. Once I get my lab up and running, I will conduct more research on the mechanics of this world. With only 5 more days to collect deep slate, I feel the same negative effects as before, but I notice after 3 days that I had been carving platforms, giant holes, and staircases leading close to the furthest point I could reach. Bedrock. The main camera decided to malfunction a few minutes before mining the gems and metals of this world, and the only footage I managed to capture was the end result. I found that this red, stony dust, when made into a block, emits more energy than a copper block. And, surprised to say, it has an infinite energy capacity. I wonder if this could enhance the efficiency of my transmission unit. Sirs, I hope this transmission reaches you, and to my team, I will do whatever it takes to get back to you. But for now, I am stranded. I will try to make the most of this world, and maybe make it better for its inhabitants. Till next communication, over and out. Oh, and before I forget, I took a video of this really cute sheep that I found. I hope this is the right file. It's a bit hard to navigate through the filing systems, but here's the file. I hope you enjoy.